Actors like Patrick Dempsey and Chris Evans may come to mind when you think of the sexiest man alive. Every year, Mark Consuelos of Live has also made the list. After winning the title of People magazine's sexiest morning host, Jimmy Fallon is pleading with him to withdraw from the competition. Read on to find out why. Fallon, Jimmy taking on Mark Consuelos for the sexiest man in 2023. Mark Consuelos won the title of sexiest morning host. Right now, it appears that he will be considered once more this year. The Live co-host takes pride in maintaining his physical fitness and taking good care of his body. His efforts are rewarded. Mark's figure has drawn attention from fans and others, which has undoubtedly helped him gain some fame. Jimmy Fallon, though, is pleading with him to take a backseat and allow someone else win this year. When you consider the sexiest guys on the planet, the late-night host isn't the first person that comes to mind. Idris Elba, Paul Rudd, Chris Evans, and Patrick Dempsey have all won before. Nevertheless, Jimmy Fallon is actually vying for one of People magazine's 2024 sexiest titles. The magazine sent him some gear, and he would like to be on the list, he revealed on The Tonight Show. Then he announced to the crowd, "Mark Consuelos, Mario Lopez, and Seth Meyers are my opponents. Yuck." Jimmy thought about what he could do. Seth Meyers would probably let him win, he reasoned. Jimmy has issues with the other two nominees, but he made an effort to win over Mark on The Tonight Show. Will Mark drop Jimmy as his nominee? Jimmy pleaded, "Mark Consuelos, I'm going to ask you right now. Please take your name off the People's Sexiest ballot." Mark Consuelos and Jimmy Fallon are about the same age. Mark, 53, exudes confidence in his appearance. Jimmy, however, celebrated his 50th birthday this year. This may have an effect on his self-perception. Who knows, maybe Jimmy will feel more confident if Mark gives in. Regarding the sexiest man alive, Mark has been assisting Patrick Dempsey, the 2023 winner, with this year's Dempsey Challenge, a charity event that the actor hosts. The event includes a walk, a run, and a ride, with all funds going to support those fighting cancer. Professional skier Troy Murphy posted details on the event on his Instagram account under the alias Donnie Pelletier. Mark Consuelos is also contributing. For those who contribute a specific amount of money for the charity, he intends to provide a dinner. The lights of NBC's iconic Tonight Show stage gleamed brighter than usual. Though the real spotlight wasn't on Jimmy Fallon's monologue or the celebrity guests making the rounds. Instead, it fell on a rivalry that had been brewing behind the curtains, one that had audiences, and even Fallon himself, buzzing. The late-night host, known for his comedic timing and quirky games, had found himself in a predicament so unusual that he did something he never thought he would. He begged Mark Consuelos to drop out of their on-air competition. The spark of rivalry. It all started innocently enough. Mark Consuelos, the charming actor and co-host of Live with Kelly and Mark, had been invited to The Tonight Show for what was meant to be a lighthearted evening of chatter, games, and laughter. Fallon, always keen on keeping things lively, decided to pit Consuelos against him in a series of quirky competitions. Mini-games ranging from trivia about obscure pop culture to hilarious physical challenges. But what began as good-natured fun quickly spiraled into a full-blown rivalry. Consuelos wasn't just competitive, he was fierce. His athletic background, combined with his laser-focused determination, gave him an edge Fallon wasn't ready for. Round after round, Consuelos dominated, winning trivia games, crushing charades, and even outpacing Fallon in a slip-in-slide bowling challenge that left the host dripping wet and defeated. The crowd roared for Mark, sensing his relentless spirit. Fallon laughed it off, but behind his grin, there was something else brewing, an unease that this wasn't just a one-off moment, a streak too strong. Fallon's show had always been a place where he reigned supreme, using his comedic energy to create a safe space where celebrities could shine without overshadowing him. But Consuelos was different. With each round, he seemed to grow more confident, more unstoppable, as though he were born for competition. Even Kelly Ripa, sitting in the audience that night, shouted encouragement to her husband, who flexed his arms after winning a ridiculous giant Jenga showdown. Fallon, red-faced, tried to keep up appearances, joking, "Mark, buddy, you're supposed to let the host win sometimes, you know." The audience laughed, but Fallon wasn't entirely joking. The breaking point. The true breaking point came when Fallon introduced what he thought would be his redemption challenge, the infamous lip sync battle. Fallon had built his late-night reputation on this segment, dazzling viewers by turning performances of pop hits into full-scale productions. Surely here, he could reclaim the crown. But Consuelos had other plans. Dressed in leather pants, sunglasses, and armed with choreography clearly rehearsed with Kelly backstage, he launched into an electrifying performance of Ricky Martin's Livin' La Vida Loca. He didn't just lip-sync, he performed, shaking his hips, pulling off dance moves, and even jumping onto Fallon's desk in a flourish. The crowd went wild, chanting his name. Fallon, who had prepared a quirky rendition of Taylor Swift's Shake It Off, suddenly looked pale. When he took the stage, his energy was solid, but the shadow of Consuelos's performance loomed large. By the end, there was no denying it. Consuelos had stolen the night. And Fallon knew it. The begging. Backstage after the show, Fallon cornered Consuelos in his dressing room. His usual charm was replaced with wide-eyed desperation. "Mark, listen," Fallon said, gripping his guest's arm. "You're amazing, like ridiculously amazing. But you've got to stop. You're too good at this. My own audience was chanting your name tonight. Do you understand? My audience. This is supposed to be my turf." Consuelos, amused, chuckled. "Jimmy, come on. It's all in good fun." But Fallon shook his head. "Fun? Fan? Mark, you don't get it. You're a machine out there. If you keep this up, people are gonna start tuning into Live with Kelly and Mark for the games instead of me. I'll be dethroned. Please, I'm begging you. Drop out of the competition. Let me win one." It was a rare moment of honesty from Fallon, who was usually all jokes and giggles. He genuinely feared being overshadowed, not by another late-night host, but by an early morning one with abs of steel and a competitive streak as sharp as a blade. Consuelos's dilemma. Consuelos leaned back, taking in Fallon's plea. He had never seen the comedian so rattled. Part of him wanted to reassure Fallon, to ease his nerves. But another part, his competitive side, reveled in the victory. After all, when was the last time he had been the center of late-night attention, leaving a host scrambling to keep up? "Jimmy," he finally said, "I'm not trying to steal your show. But when I compete, I go all in. That's just who I am." Fallon groaned. "Exactly. That's the problem. You're too all in. I need you to be, like 50% in. Maybe 60 on a good day. Save some energy for Kelly Man." Kelly Ripa, who had joined them backstage, burst into laughter at Fallon's desperation. "Jimmy, are you seriously begging my husband to take it easy on you?" "Yes," Fallon admitted without hesitation. "I am. He's unstoppable, Kelly. Unstoppable. If he doesn't back down, I'll have to retire early and host a podcast from my garage or something." A deal is struck. Eventually, Consuelos relented, sort of. "Okay, Jimmy. Here's the deal. I'll drop out of your competitions, but on one condition." Fallon's eyes lit up. "Anything. Name it." "You come on Live with Kelly and Mark and let Kelly and me put you through one of our challenges. No backing out, no excuses. If you survive, I'll take it easy on your show." Fallon hesitated but agreed, realizing he'd just traded one battlefield for another. The aftermath. News of Fallon's begging session leaked almost immediately, thanks to Kelly's playful retelling on her own morning show. Soon, the internet was ablaze with memes of Fallon on his knees, pleading with captions like, "When Mark Consuelos steals your thunder and your audience." Fans loved the rivalry, with some even calling for a spin-off series, Fallon versus Consuelos, the ultimate showdown. For Fallon, though, the ordeal was both humbling and hilarious. He leaned into the joke on later episodes, poking fun at himself and even staging mock training montages to prepare for his next face-off. Consuelos, meanwhile, basked in the glory, though he honored his word and dialed back the intensity, at least on Fallon's turf. A friendship forged in competition. In the end, what started as a rivalry turned into an unlikely friendship. Fallon and Consuelos found a strange balance. Two entertainers from different worlds, bonded by their shared love of laughter, competition, and ridiculous challenges.